won't let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me? In the mirror now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
A running play there, going to get 10 and a quick first down. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones looking for his running back, and he's got him. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
60 outlaw. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Throwing on 1st down. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Complete. Hunter Henry with the ground. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. And an alley to run. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 67 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They'll start off with a give to Lewis. Lewis has the first down and then some. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now Jones. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Black. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 5 now. Jones is going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Back to throw. Fields. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Darren Lee there to get him down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
The 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fields. Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Fields. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, they just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On Second and a couple. Jones, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Jones on 1st and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing Jones. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are out in front in that one. The Monarchs seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
17 yards, first down, Vikings. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, Fields. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. It's caught by OBJ. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 23.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your deep.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now Lewis here on 1st down. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Fields. That's complete right around the 8. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. 2nd and 6. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun. Fields toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Here's Jones throwing on first down. He completes it to Henry. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Jones now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 3rd down, here's Dixon. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Jones now throwing on 4th down. Touchdown, Packers. From 13 yards out. And the Packers get a score closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you.
Pass complete to number 80. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Lambo lining up for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Back to throw. Fields. Going left side, it's complete. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Then he'll give it here to his running back. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A 2nd down run with Lewis. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Looking to throw. Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 16